Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about my first class. Before I actually looked up on YouTube, Fat People Jiu Jitsu, you may have seen from my intro video. First thing I did was first day of class, like what should I expect? What are we going to be doing? What is Jiu Jitsu? What is a class? What should I expect? And so I looked that up first, and then after I saw that, I was quickly like, can fat people do this? So my first class and my journey is probably going to be different than a lot of you guys. I will say, just to be honest and frank, as I want to be in all these, I want you to know the point of this journey is that you know what's going through my head and what I know is going through your head. A lot of what you're thinking is not going to come out of your mouth, as you'll see in some of my other reactions and thoughts and stuff. And even today, I have one of those. But I want to be clear about what you're thinking and what you're going to encounter. And so I probably have the best possible outcome as far as I'm concerned. Again, I'm a white belt, so take it for a grain of salt, a big grain of salt, but a grain of salt nonetheless. I go for right now 2 hours, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 10 to noon, and I basically have a private lesson. So it's actually a class. But for the first really like 3-4 weeks, it was my coach, Courtney, a blue belt who's doing some like co-coaching with him, particularly in the evenings. I believe with the kids primarily, but has been there for a little while. And then me, fresh, didn't even have my white belt because I hadn't got my gi yet. And I got to learn at that kind of pace. Like if you can find that, if you can afford the private lessons even once a week, if you can get something like that, it's just drastically changed the way for me and how to learn. And so I was freaking out. I went on a date with my wife the previous weekend, and my first class was coming up on Monday. And I'm like, I told her what they do. Like they do the warm-ups, and then they do the drilling, and then they do the rolls, and I'm gonna die during the rolls from both cardio, and I'm sure every one of my appendages is gonna be barred in some fashion and snapped, and I'll probably be choked a few times. Fully anticipating that. And if you take anything away from my channel, I pray that it is the fact that our comfort zones, our circles of comfort, have to be just demolished. And so I was planning on going into that Monday saying, if I'm uncomfortable with it, I'm going to do it. That has to be my role in jiu-jitsu. I don't want to get on the floor in the first place. So if I'm doing this, then I have got to blow open these comfort zones. And so I fully expected to die on my first class. And I didn't, for reasons I already said. Basically a private lesson and getting to learn things at my pace and at my size. My coach has 14 years of wrestling coaching in his background, and he's tailoring things for my size, things that you wouldn't suggest a regular person do. I would never hear this kind of thing from the main teaching in a regular class because it's a no-no to your average size person. But for me, because of my size, maybe I need a little extra space, or maybe I need less space, and he's able to hands-on help me figure these things out very early from day one. A huge value. And honestly, find a way to make some of that happen. I'm hoping to get him to do a few videos of skill stuff with me on what's just different for our size. Man, first class, that's what it was for me. I walk in and we have this nice one-on-one time, one-on-two time where I'm getting to work with him and learn the basics. For the first 3 weeks, it's this way. Occasionally other people come into class. We do some other disciplines. We've done a couple classes in striking, and that's a great workout for me still. We've done some stuff for like MMA. We had some MMA guys come in and working on like stuff on the cage, but there's a lot of principles there that fit with grappling. Just been awesome. I have 3 different videos from my first real class. I was able to go in an evening, which is pretty rare for me, and it was a gi night, so I haven't done any gi stuff yet. Everything I've been doing in the mornings is no gi, and that was a life-changing night, so I'd encourage you to check those out. But man, your first class, even if it's like my first experience on that Thursday night in gi, like you can do it. You can do it. You can totally do it. The first class is going to be work. You have to understand that everything in life that's of value is hard work. That is not going to change, whether it's at your actual job, whether it's your family. Whether it's a sport that you want to play or whether it's a hobby that you pick up, it takes hard work to do anything. So that's not going away. I understand that. You can't get rid of the hard work. It's going to be there if it's anything of value. But the question of, can I do it besides the fact that it's hard? Yes, you can. You totally can. Just do it. Go to that first class. Be nervous as all get out, like I was. Stare into the rearview mirror of your vehicle when you pull up to the gym and ask yourself the question, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And then do it, because you have to blow open those comfort zones. You have to encounter those things and just blow them wide open. There are still a lot of things, even in jiu-jitsu, that I'm nervous about doing. And I've been doing it for, I guess, just 5 weeks now. Which is nothing in the grand scheme of what's available in jiu-jitsu. But I come in, it's something I'm not excited about, we're going to do it. I'm going to do it. Now, my coach is pretty reasonable, obviously. He knows I'm big, but he finds ways to try to modify. And your coach will modify something for you in a regular class if you're having trouble. Just communicate that stuff. It's on you to communicate it. It's not on them necessarily to just assume. They don't know what it's like to be you. They don't know what it's like to be the size of 2 people combined. That's just different. And there's no real way for them to understand that unless they have been that way before. But know that you can do it. So get in there on your first class and just make it happen. You're going to love it. You're going to watch all the videos on YouTube for the next 5 weeks and just soak and enjoy this stuff. But you can do it. So go to class, make that first one happen, and you'll be ready for your second one. I paid for my entire year dues before my second class started. I knew this is what I needed, and I knew I could do it. So your first class, whether it's like mine or whether it's more of a traditional one, do what you can, make it through the whole thing, and you'll find that you love it. See you guys next time.